And we're live, I think, I hope. Yes. Hey, yeah, there we go. All right. Hey, Diesel Nation. This is Christina Delgado. Unbelievable. It is December 14th already. The year has come and gone. It's almost 2016. I hope you guys are ready because it's going to be an amazing year. But first, we have to get through this amazing call. And before I turn it over to my dear friend Liz, just a quick recap of a few things going on this month and then some network announcements. First, I want to start with the elephant in the room. We'll get through the negative stuff first, or the not so fun stuff first, which is, you know, these shipping delays and product errors that, you know, it's going on right now with customer service and coach relations. Listen, we're all experiencing it. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's not just our team, it's the network. Right now, it's just one of those periods where we're going through a major transition into a new warehouse, but I am very happy to report this is straight from our vice president that is in charge of this whole transition into this new warehouse, and also coach relations and customer service. His name is Mark Washington, that by tonight, all of those delayed orders should be out the door. So if you're saying, what is she talking about? Keep it that way. You don't want to know what's going on. If this is something that has affected you in some way, or affected a customer of yours or a coach of yours in some way, rest assured that hopefully by the end of tonight, hopefully by the end of this week, we are back on track. Everything is back to where we were about a month ago when everything was running smoothly. It is just one of those things that a company that is growing as fast as Team Beachbody will experience. This is not the first time it's happened. Liz and I have been around for a couple years and understand that there has been issues like this in the past. The company is growing very fast and we're just trying to keep up, right? That's a great problem to have. The thing that is important is how you react to things like this, these challenges that a business owner goes through. We're all business owners. We have to take the information that's given to us, the challenges and the obstacles that we face, and react to them. So you can either become negative Nelly and kind of feed into the problems, creating more problems for yourself, or remaining positive, helping your customers, getting on the phone with coach relations with them, being a problem solver. I promise you, if you stay positive and you stay encouraging with your customers, they will understand. The moment you feed into their frustration, that's when things start going wrong. So let's keep our attitudes positive. Let's keep moving forward. This is an important month that's going to set up 2016 for our team. We have a lot of exciting things going on. I'm going to get to some of it in a second, but I just wanted to tell you guys that you're doing an amazing job. We did experience some of these issues. We overcame them. We will overcome them, especially with your leadership, your vision, and your direction. So let's stay the course and let's remain positive through all this. And hopefully it's all history as of tonight. I want to remind you, I'm just looking at my notes, I want to remind you that on December 29th, we're not going to have any team calls over Christmas, of course. Next week, we're taking the week off so you can enjoy your families. But on December 29th at 9 p.m., we are hosting a New Year's Eve party for our team. It's going to be a Zoom call, so I hope you can make it. Becky and I are planning some huge and exciting things for our team heading into 2016. Please be there. Please invite your team's leaders. I'm calling on you because we're going to unveil some things. We're going to take our team into a new direction in 2016. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we want you there firsthand to see what's going on with Diesel Nation in 2016. Super Saturday, it's coming up, guys. It's right around the corner, January 9th. If you are in South Florida, of course, we expect and require you to be at Super Saturday with us. Monica said it last week. I don't have to repeat it, but you know, we have Michael Neiman coming. This is the first time he's joining us in Miami, and we have Sagi Kalev again, the Hammer from Hammer and Chisel, and the #2 coach in the network, Amy Silverman, is also going to be with us. It's an amazing way to kick off your year. to be enthralled and just engaged with the excitement and the energy of all the things that are not only happening with Team Beachbody, but that are going to happen. I don't have to remind you that Cafe Latte Shakeology is coming out in the first quarter. I suspect pretty soon. Hardcore 22 is coming out. Hopefully we'll have a sample of that. I don't know, but you know, think of all these things that are going to set up your 2016. But before we get there, we're still in 2015, we're still in December, and there's still plenty of time to hit Success Club. And I've heard repeatedly, man, this month is tough. I told you in October and November that December was going to be tough. It always is. This is my 5th December as a Team Beachbody coach. 5th December that I've hit Success Club this month. It is not impossible. It is only impossible if you put it in your mind that it's impossible. If you go on and you work your business like you have all year long, reaching out to people, inviting, adding people to your network, just like any other month, December can be as profitable, as successful as January or February. It's all right here, guys. It's all in the mindset. So there's plenty of time to hit Success Club. Find those 3 people to help. Start, you know, making notes right now as to who you want in your January challenge groups. This is a big time of the year, so turn on the gas. Don't take your foot off the pedal right now, and let's go. So those are my announcements for right now. I'm going to turn the call over to a very special lady in my life, and just a little background on how we met. This time last year, Shay, you guys know Shay, she's one of my best friends. She messaged me and she said, listen, I'm putting together a mastermind group, you know, a success partner group of 4 leaders, and I want to invite you. And I'm like, wow, I'm honored, you know, that'd be great. And I've asked Brigida Linford, and I'm like, wow, that's great. Because, you know, Brigida and I had spoken at Summit together in 2014. And then she says, and I'm inviting Elizabeth Hartke. And I'm like, who's that? And she's like, well, she's super awesome. I even think she's in your team. Like, she's sponsored by Keith Callahan. I'm like, no way. And I swear to you guys that the day that we had our first mastermind call, us 4, I don't know if you've seen the movie Hotel Transylvania, but we zinged, right? And it was like love at first sight. And not in a weird way, but well, maybe in a little weird way, but no, it's like amazing. The relationship that we've built this year, just having fun with this business and being real and being honest and pushing each other, not only in the group, but personally between Liz and I. We got to be together at Summit. We spoke on the same topic, so we got to go through those growing pains together of preparing that major presentation at Summit. She's amazing. She pushes me. I want to emulate her and her cool vibe. You're gonna fall in love with her tonight. She's a mom and a wife. She had a baby 7 months ago. She looks amazing. She just handles everything so well, and it's so funny. She's actually a 10-star diamond coach with 19 lifetime diamonds in her entire organization between all her CBCs, which is incredible. She's an executive leader. If you don't know the leadership ladder, you should. And that's the highest rung on the leadership ladder, executive leader. She's a 2014 elite coach, Success Club 10 all-star legend. That's a mouthful. She's spoken at Summit. She's been on the National Wake Up Call. She has been on the Super Saturday video, and she will be appearing on the January 4th Surge. Did I get all of it? I think I did. It's crazy, but she's amazing, and her accolades just prove that. So without further ado, I'm turning over to my friend, Liz Harty.
Thank you, Christina. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I have to tell you guys, I am so honored and just to be on Christina's call. You guys don't understand. Like, you are all so lucky. Christina and her sister, this team. I remember I went to my first summit a few years ago, and Christina, you were speaking. It was like kind of our separate talk before Summit started with our big downline and stuff. And Christina gets up on the stage, and I didn't know who she was at the time because I was like this little nobody just kind of looking at everybody. And I see her up there, I'm like, oh, she's pretty. And then I started hearing her talk, and I'm like, that is it. I got it. That was people ask me my aha moment. When I heard Christina speak about the culture of her team, and it was like everything to me, because that's what this is about, and you guys get to experience that, so don't take it for granted. It is the best gift you can be given. Incredible leadership that you can work towards yourself. So thank you for having me on the call, and I just my heart skips a beat when I see my Christina, so this is so awesome. First of all, I'm a hot mess, literally. Just got back from the drugstore getting my son a prescription. This is my office, but usually that's not a bed, it's a couch, but we had guests here and I haven't cleaned up, so just bear with me. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about kind of who I am and some of the roadblocks I've hit along the way, and kind of help you work through those, because I know that there are things that, at least for my team, they hit them pretty regularly, and they're common things that come up. And I'm here tonight telling you so honestly that I have never in my entire life, I've had all these things I've been passionate about and excited about, and I've gotten, really, really pumped about them, and then they've fizzled. I never stayed the course. And this is the first thing in my entire life that I am, besides my marriage, of course, and parenthood and those things, but kind of stuck with those. But this is the first thing that I've elected to stay the course and stay committed through the struggles. And there have been struggles, guys. These last few months, they're hard. Christina said, don't act surprised when December is tough. You guys should know this is not an easy time of year. People's minds are not on getting healthy or, running their business. They use their excuses, and this is their optimal time. And the reason that I am where I am now, and I'm going where I'm going, and that's the key piece, is because it's been a choice and there's a plan in place. And don't be deceived. I am so disorganized. That's in my personality. I took a personality test not too long ago, and like all the red flags were popping up, like you're a giant cluster and you're a mess and you're a disaster and you're a tornado. I get it, but there's still a plan and there are still goals in place. So someone asked me, one of my mentors not long ago, a question that totally rocked my world. And I had to study it. I had to research it. I had to learn more about it. So if I asked you all this question, what if I asked you, do you have a personal growth plan? Not like a business plan, not goals, not a to-do list. Those are the things that, we have those scribbled around. For someone like me, I have like 8 million Post-it notes, 1 million notes on my whiteboard, my goals, my to-do list. Do you have a personal growth plan? After I was asked that question, I have a binder in my drawer, and it's like this thick, and I spent the last few months creating it after I was really researching and learning about this question. And it says my name on the front, and on the side, personal growth plan. And it's broken down because I kept thinking that I had one, but then realized those were just my goals. Those are just my to-do list. So I take from, I love John Maxwell as a leader and an entrepreneur, and I really follow his teaching. So I took his 8 gaps. He talks about these gaps. I think of them as kind of the roadblocks that we hit along the way, from his book, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. If you haven't read that, read it. I'm not much of a reader, so you can always listen to it, but I like this book. I like reading because I highlight everything. And I'm going to go through these gaps and kind of speak to his principles, but it applies so much to what we do as coaches. So I think we have this common misconception. Working hard, it doesn't guarantee success. So if you have come into this business and you've been told, oh, just stick it out, work hard for a year, I can't say that I can promise you you're definitely going to succeed. There is so much more to it. And another thing that he points out is hoping for it too. That's not a strategy. That's not a success plan. Oh, I hope I get there. I hope I hit diamond. I hope, I make elite this year. Hope is not a strategy. And I think we spend so much time, especially this is the time of year, right, where we're starting to think about our goals for next year because we've fallen short on all those goals from this year. And we focus so heavily on our goals, and you might hit them. But if you focus on growth, and that personal growth plan, not only are you going to hit your goals, but you're going to grow. You're going to grow into a leader. You see Christina, you see Becky, you see these people that we admire and we follow. It's not because they have this list of goals that they hit. It's because of the growth that they're doing behind the scenes. So I'm going to walk you through these 8 gaps that I talked about, or those 8 roadblocks, and how you can grow through them. And remember, along the way, we're always so anxious to improve our circumstances, but we're not willing to improve ourselves. So you have to take a step back and say, who am I? What am I struggling with? What's the reality of those roadblocks that I'm hitting, and how can I work through them? So the first one is the assumption gap. And that's assuming you're automatically going to grow. Time's passing. I'll get there eventually. I'll hit diamond with time. I will grow into a leader with time. It's just going to happen naturally. And that's not true. Not only are you not going to grow, you will either plateau, stay where you are, or you'll actually to work backwards, because over time you become more and more complacent. You have to be intentional about it. And this is the best time to do it. And I was excited when Christina asked me to talk to you guys, because planning for 2016 doesn't happen on January 1st of 2016. It happens today. I spent most of my day today reaching out to my coaches and my team and sending them voice messages saying, hey, I'm taking off for Christmas vacation pretty soon. I want to talk to you guys about your goals for 2016. So come the first day of the year, we're sprinting towards those goals. We're intentional about them, and we have some stuff to grow through first. So you have to think about what's your destined port. So that's that first gap, that first roadblock. The second one is the knowledge gap. I don't know how to grow. I don't know how to get there. Well, I want to be a leader, but I don't know how to be a leader. Kind of using that as an excuse. Guys, if you don't know, figure it out. Learn, use your resources, seek the guidance to get there. Do you have a mentor in your upline or in your Star Diamond upline? Do you have a mentor outside of Beachbody? It doesn't even necessarily have to be a coach. Do you have someone that as a resource that you can turn to and say, hey, I'm hitting this roadblock. I'm struggling with this in my mindset. How can I get past that? So when you don't know something, it's on you to figure it out. Leaders don't sit back and say, well, I guess I'm never going to be, I'm never going to speak on a call because that's not really in my comfort zone and I don't really know how to do it. No, they go out there and they do it until they figure it out. They talk to people who have done it before them successfully. I don't know how to post on Facebook. I guess I'm not really going to use Facebook as a resource. Well, no, you're going to follow those leaders that came before you and you're going to learn from them. And then you're going to go out there and you're going to do a Facebook training and you're going to watch a YouTube video on how to do it until you figure it out. But guess what? It's a decision. It's a very conscious decision to learn, to use those resources, to research. The third gap is the timing gap. And I think this is the one that as coaches, we hear the most. Well, it's not the right time to begin. Please tell me, point on a calendar, when's the right time? I have yet to see the right time, on a calendar. It just doesn't exist. You have to create it. So that timing gap. Well, and here, this is a funny thing because we're talking about the new year and it is such an important time and it's very tempting to start things with a clean slate. I challenge you to, instead of having your goals start on January 1st, why don't you have them start today? If you have a goal that you're pushing for, you want to hit diamond, why are you waiting until the end of January to hit it and you're starting on the 1st? Start now. Start pushing for those things now and start working towards those goals and working through those struggles. Imagine what you would accomplish if if you really thought about what you wanted and you actually did what you said you wanted, how often, I mean, this is a perfect example. It's the end of December. I'm looking back on my year saying, well, what the hell? I had this whole list of things I wanted to do that I said I really wanted those things, and I haven't achieved them yet. And that's because I was allowing that timing gap to kind of take over for me. Well, I'll do it later. I'm having a baby. I'm really pregnant. I have a newborn. Well, now I don't have a newborn. He's 7 months old. So what's my excuse now? There always can be something. You have to do those things that you say you want to do. You have to commit to them, and they have to be a choice. And it's that concept and you experience this probably with your customers or your challengers, the law of diminishing intent. The longer you wait to take action, the less likely you are to achieve or push for that thing that you said you wanted in the first place. It's just a reality. It's how we live. And there's a quote in the book that I reference: life lived for tomorrow will always be one day away from being realized. So if you're constantly waiting for tomorrow to have that fresh start, you're just never going to have it. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to achieve those things that you say you so desperately want. Want them and then go for them. The fourth is the mistake gap. And this one, I mean, I think it plagues everybody. I see it plague my team, but I know for certain it kills me. And it's that fear of making mistakes. And it's called being human. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. But think about this. If I ask you this question, maybe write this on a piece of paper in pretty bold letters. What would you attempt if you did not fear failure? What would you go for? What would you push for with all your might if you knew, I'm not going to fail, this is going to happen? Would it be a rank advancement? Would it be a monetary goal? Would it be, I want to speak on stage, or whatever it is for you? Those mistakes, they're how you learn. That's how you learn who you are. That's how you learn what you want. Sometimes you go for things and they just don't feel right. And then you say, that's not really what I wanted in the first place. And you regroup and you change direction, and that's okay. But if you allow that fear of failure or that fear of making a mistake stop you, you better be happy where you are, because that's where you're going to remain. It's just how it works. And, to flash back a little bit, I know you guys probably don't know a lot about my journey, but I used to work in corporate, and I was so cripplingly unhappy with what I was doing. I was unfulfilled. In my entire life, I've had this little nagging voice telling me that I'm made for more. I've always known that. I've always wanted my own business. And I actually, in my corporate job, used to spend my times writing business plans for the business that I was going to start. And I would never take that first step to actually open the doors or start the website or any of that, because in my mind, there was also another nagging voice saying, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so why begin? You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. There's that concept of, well, someday, or going back to the assumption gap, I know it'll just happen on its own. I assume I'll get there. It doesn't work that way. So yes, your fear of failure, it's legitimate. It's a real fear. It's nothing to beat yourself up over, but do something about it. It's another one of those roadblocks that there's a choice there, and it's a choice that you might not have made yet. The next one, this is, how they talk about eating that frog? That always reminds me of this particular one, the fifth roadblock. And it's the perfection gap. I have to find the best way to do it before I begin. I have a blog that I started forever ago, and it's been sitting there, the poor thing, butt naked, because I'm like, well, I got to get that blog post just right. I have all these drafts sitting in there. I'm admitting this to you guys. It's terrible. It's that perfection gap. It's something that I have to change about myself, because it's that, well, what if I don't get it right and then people don't like me, or I can't post that yet. I got to get the perfect picture, my filter. I don't like that filter. No one's going to want to follow me on Facebook if I don't find the perfect filter for that picture or for that post. You got to get real with yourself. And I relate it to driving on an unfamiliar road in the dark at night, right? So obviously the ideal would be to know the entire route before you start driving. It's kind of unnerving, especially when you're like blind as a bat like me, when you're driving at night and you can only see as far as your headlights go. So you really only know, what is that, maybe 20, 25 feet or a little bit more ahead of you sometimes when it's really dark. And you're thinking, well, I want to know what's next. I want to know what's next. But you trust, you pay attention, you follow what you can see with your headlights, and you move forward a little bit more and a little bit more, and you get to where you want to go. And it's revealed over time as you move forward. If you stop, the headlights don't reveal anything more, and you just see those however many feet in front of you. So if you want to see more of the way, if you want to see what's next, if you want to see what your future holds, you've got to keep moving forward. You don't have that luxury of sitting there saying, well, I want brighter headlights. No, it doesn't work that way. When you're on a dark path, you only see what you can see, and you keep moving forward with a little bit of faith and some commitment and persistence, and you're going to get to where you want to go. I'm going to read you guys just a quick little passage from the book. So John Maxwell's at a doctor's office, and he's waiting for his appointment to start. And he picks up a medical journal or magazine. And the title of the article is Just Do It. And it's just talking about, I think, diabetes and health, and that's what the particular article is about. But it pinpoints on motivation, and it kind of touches on this whole perfection gap thing he talks about. So I'm just going to read this little bit for you. We have news for you. Motivation is not going to strike you like lightning, and motivation is not something that someone else, nurse, doctor, family member, can bestow or force on you. The whole idea of motivation is actually a trap. Forget motivation. Just do it. Exercise, lose weight, test your blood sugar, or whatever. Do it without motivation, and then guess what? After you start doing the thing, that's when the motivation comes, and it makes it easy for you to keep doing it. Motivation is like love and happiness. It's a byproduct. When you're actively engaged in doing something, it sneaks up and zaps you when you least expect it. You're more likely to act yourself into feeling than feel yourself into action. So act. Whatever it is you know you should do, just do it. And that struck me because we're constantly, me, myself included, I'm constantly telling my team, come on, just get motivated. You can do it. Find that inspiration. There's got to be some discipline in there too. There's got to be that taking action and not waiting for that perfect moment or that perfect thing to allow you to do it. There are always going to be 1,000 reasons why you don't want to do something or why you feel like you shouldn't. You just have to hold on for dear life to that one reason that you've got to do it. Connect that back to your why, to connect that back to the one thing that cuts through your heart and you can't live without making it happen. The 7th roadblock is the comparison gap. And I mean, who as a Beachbody coach doesn't compare themselves to other coaches, right? We see other coaches in the network all the time. That's all we do. We're on Facebook, we're checking this person. Oh, that person rank advanced, or this person has this opportunity. That's just, I think that's par for the course, because as much as we want to see what they're doing so that we can learn from them, there's also that little bit of, oh, well, I wish I had that. Instead of having that envious mindset, try and learn from them. Instead of thinking others are better than me or others are luckier than me or whatever it is that you've convinced yourself of that's most likely not true, learn from them. Look at someone like Christina and don't say, oh, I wish I could have that. She came in at a better time. She knows more people. Whatever excuses you're going to make up that aren't true, she just hustled. Why don't you look at her and say, I really like the way she does this. I'm going to apply that to my business in my own way. I'm going to make that unique to me. I'm going to put my thumbprint on it, and I'm going to become better at it. That's where comparison can be a good thing, when you choose to use those people or those things as resources. They're part of your research. Go out there and see what you like and what you don't like, and then tweak it to make it your own. And the final gap, excuse me, or roadblock, is the expectation gap. And I think this one's pretty relevant to the time of year. It's that concept of, well, I thought this would be easier. I thought it'd be easier than this. My expectations were different. And that's why we probably see so many coach cancellations right now. I don't know about you, Christina, but I see them flooding my email every so often, and I see my coaches getting discouraged because they're losing rank, or they haven't hit their goals, or, you know, I have one coach who is about to lock in elite, and, you know, someone quit and lost that, and it's just this feeling of like defeat because, oh, well, I thought it was going to be easier than that. I thought I was going to make it happen. And this is where character is built, in my opinion, because you're going to see the difference between the successful people, the people, I'm not just talking to people who hit Success Club and earn a lot of money and rank advance. I'm talking about success at the core. Like, they've found joy. This is a platform to help people. They are growing into leaders. They are changing their lives, but they're bringing thousands of people with them, and those people's lives will never be the same. Their children's lives will never be the same. Guys, I'm talking about a legacy. The difference between those people and the people that just coast by or quit or whatever is how they react when their expectations aren't met. They change their standards. They set their sights higher. They push harder. They realize, well, yeah, I thought it was going to be easier, so next time I've got to bust my ass that much harder. It's not, I thought it'd be easier, so I'm going to quit now because, you know, it didn't live up to my expectations. No, you have to set the standard. You have to push for what you want. You have to achieve greatness because no one else will do it for you. And John Maxwell says in his book, you cannot change your destination overnight. It's frustrating because we all want instant gratification, but he also says you can change direction overnight. You can do one small thing to change your direction, and that can change everything over the course of time. I'm sure a lot of you have read The Compound Effect and that concept of it building up over time. So yeah, maybe your expectations weren't met. Maybe you made the wrong expectation, but what are you gonna do about it? You didn't hit Success Club this month? Well, guess what? The month's not over. Do you feel like, oh, well, you know, Christmas next week, no one's gonna wanna buy. I thought it would be a little bit easier. You're gonna say, I have some work to do. I better get out there tonight and talk to 20 people. You know, you have to make those choices moving forward. And really, to sum it all up, all of this, it's just about a decision. These are choices. These are conscious. This is a conscious effort you're making. And you have to do everything with such intention and purpose that it lights your soul on fire, and you move forward, touching more lives in the process. So hopefully the next time I get to talk to you guys and I ask, do you have a personal growth plan? You're gonna light up because you're gonna be one of very few people who can say, yeah, actually I do, you wanna hear it? And share that with the world and make that a part of who you are now moving into the new year. Don't wait for January 1st, start tonight. Have a glass of wine, take out your notebook, get excited about the fact that you're working through these roadblocks, not just to have a better business, but to be a better person, to be a more purpose-driven person, and to do bigger things and create a legacy that you can leave behind that you can be so proud of. And I hope that you take this as a personal challenge and you go out there and you make that choice and you do it with that intention, because I have all the faith in the world that you have the leadership to get you there. So don't sell yourself short and don't ever settle. And I am so thankful, Christina, that you got to, that you asked me to be on this call, because it's definitely an honor. I admire you and your whole team because I see what they're all doing and it's just incredible.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate what you just said. I don't know about everybody listening, but I have 2 pages of notes, like literally. Because that was amazing. Because a person that never stops learning, like I do, will sit on a call like this and take it in from people that have been successful and that are continuing to be successful in this business. And you blew me away tonight, Liz. It was awesome. John Maxwell, I love him. I got to see him a few weeks ago live. So I appreciate all of his teachings and the way that you compared the 8 gaps to the business, because it was perfectly summarized. I hope everybody took all those nuggets away. And like, mind-blowing to me, I know Kathy Mendoza had checked into the team page and she was saying the assumption gap. Mind blown. I agree, because that's like such a big one in this business, that people assume that this is going to be easy, and it can be. There's certain times of the year that it's fun and it's exciting because people are ready and they're doing what you want them to do. But guess what? We're all human, and people are human. They're not always going to do exactly what you think or expect them to do. So I love that part. But it's funny because right before I got on the call, I was looking at quotes, and I found this quote because I was thinking of all the challenges that we're having right now, not only in terms of the month that we're in. December, it's rough. The beginning of December is always hard because people are so focused on getting ready for Christmas. They're not focused on their fitness and their goals. They'll think about it after Christmas, but not right now. And then we're looking at the challenges that the network is having with these shipping problems that hopefully by tonight they're a thing of the past. But I came through this quote that says, to be successful, you must accept all the challenges that come your way. You can't just accept the ones you like. And that was by Mike Gafka. And I realized that in the last 5 years of this journey of being, 5.5 years already, of being a coach, that I've had to deal with some pretty difficult situations, obstacles. I mean, the first 3 years of this thing and growing this team with Becky, we were working full-time jobs, and it was hard. And I was trying cases and taking depositions and trying to sell challenge packs at the same time. I mean, it was not easy, but like Liz said, we made a decision to get through those obstacles, not just do what we like, go on the trips, hit Success Club here and there, get the bobbleheads. Yeah, that's all cool. But what's it going to take it to that next level? Stop being in that mediocre state that people seem to think is okay. It's a decision to get out of that state. And I had posted on our team page, on my personal page, and on our leaders page this week that I'm kind of tired of hiding the success that some of the coaches on our team have had, and not talking about what they've accomplished because it might hurt someone's feelings, about how much income I made last week because it might hurt someone's feelings that they're not there yet. And I was wondering, it made me think, am I doing a disservice to people that want to get out of this mediocre state and push to that next level? And I decided, yeah, I think I am doing a disservice. And when Liz talked about that decision, right, it all comes down to a decision to move past what you think you deserve and go after what you want in this life, what you want and what you deserve to achieve, and not just what your history or your past and the stories that you tell yourself about what you should achieve in this lifetime, but to dig down and figure out, get it going for great. Like Liz talked about, those business plans that she wrote, and she never, addressed them. She never went after it because she always thought that it would never work out. If you were to set all that aside, get through this mediocre state that we live in, and make that decision to get rid of these gaps that we live in, that Maxwell talks about and preaches about, and just go for it, What do you think that you are capable of? I believe every single person that says yes to this opportunity, at that moment, the moment that they say, click join, and you get that email that says, I've become a Beachbody coach, at that moment, you believed that you were capable of greatness in this business. Why is it that we condition ourselves to believe that we're not? And why do we act that way? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Am I acting as if I'm going to succeed? Am I acting the way that I want to achieve, or what I want to achieve in this business? If the answer is no, then right there, you're falling into these gaps. See which ones they are and move past them. Because at the end of the day, this is a decision that you make every single day to do it or not do it, to succeed or not succeed, to work or not work, to be positive or not. Every single day, that decision rests on you. Am I right, Liz?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, it's just, I think just to leave you guys with one thought, the thing that set me over the edge to start coaching was, so forever I like was fearing what it would look like if I tried and failed. I was driving to work one day to go to the same job that I hated with all of my heart. Like, I put so much energy into hating what I was doing. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. This is it. Like, I'm going to be one of those people who works until they physically cannot work anymore. I'm going to wish away every week for the weekend and already dread the weekends because I'm anticipating the next week. I'm going to have no time with my family. Like, that's it. And I accepted it. And in that moment of acceptance was when that fear of living in mediocrity was way bigger than my fear of failure. And I said, no more. Like, this is not who I am. I'm making a change. I don't care if I die doing it. At least I'll die a lot happier than I am in this damn cubicle. And so those fears, embrace them. Let them like wash over you and say, nothing's worse than dying with my music still inside me. Like, if I don't live this out, I've got one shot at this life. You know, I have to do it now. So, you know, I like Christina, I really believe that everyone has that opportunity if they make that choice.
I agree 100%. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Let everybody you know, take that one in. I hope you guys enjoyed this call as much I did. I thought it was phenomenal. Liz, thank you once again for joining us. Everybody can go and blow up her page. I always tell everybody to do that, and then you get like a friend request and stuff. But you guys, I might see some of my diamonds on Wednesday. I can't wait to see you guys then. But this is our last call until after Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, I want to wish you and your families a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Christmas. For those of you that just finished Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah to you. But we will see each other again on December 29th. It is a big night. I hope you guys join us. Please put on your party hats, have your champagne ready, because we are celebrating all of 2015 and kicking off 2016 in a really big way. So thanks, Liz. I will see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.